Okay, you guys, you remember I said that we were going to make twice baked potatoes. Well, I'm getting ready to do it. I've done a little beforehand stuff. I have 7 potatoes here. 7. It's going to be 5 of us, but they're pretty small potatoes. What I've done is I've washed them well with the vegetable brush. They're all washed, and I've laid them out on a pad to dry a little bit. We're going to do the front end of twice baked potatoes. I owned a restaurant, and you learn little things in restaurants that you don't do and you don't learn in normal everyday cooking for people. One of the things that I learned in the restaurant was to get a good firm twice baked potato that you can work with, because what you have to do is slice the potato after it bakes, slice it open, cull out the insides of the potato, and then still have 2 fairly together, I can't think of the word, 2 pieces that need to stay together, not flippy floppy apart. So the key to doing that, I learned, as I said, in the restaurant, hold on, is, it's right here, is 2 different ingredients. I've preheated my oven to 400. I have a cookie sheet over here that I'm going to put everything on. But Crisco or any kind of vegetable oil, doesn't matter, and iodized salt, just plain old salt. Okay, so I'm going to show you what you do, and then this is the front, like I said, this is the front end of the baked potato. Okay, I've got oil in my hand. You can't see it, but I've got oil in my hand. I'm oiling up each one of these potatoes, placing them on this plate that I have here in front of me. And as I need more oil, I'll put more oil on my hand. But you know, they don't have to be greasy, but each one of them need to be covered with some oil. So that one just did all 4 of those. I can possibly get 5 out of there. They've all got oil on them now. Maybe 6, and I'm going to have to put a little more oil on my hand for that last 2. And okay, so we have the last 2 here all oiled up and ready to go. Now, what we're going to do is take salt, and we're going to sprinkle all over that. I'm going to wash my hands really quickly, get them here in the dishwasher, because I need to show you how to do it. Okay, so we then the salt, and just put it in your hand, a good amount. I'm trying to show you here how much I have. Opening this up where I can see myself. Right there, well, you can't really see, but I've got a good amount there. So what we're going to do is we're going to sprinkle this salt all over these potatoes and get them covered really well. Now what that does is it hardens it up, hardens the skins up, and it makes them easier to work with later on. So this is an important step in twice baked potatoes. A lot of people make twice baked potatoes and they'll have flimsy, floppy, not so good twice baked potatoes. My sister makes fabulous twice baked potatoes. I, on the other hand, don't do it enough to where I'm fabulous at it, but I do it enough to where I know what to do, how to make them in the long run. So anyway, they're now going to go into the oven. They're going to bake for about an hour, maybe less. And then we'll take them out, and I'll show you all of the ingredients that I put into them to make up a mixture for the inside of them. Cheese, green onions, butter, a little French onion dip, my little kick to it. And never forget Tony Chechery. Tony Chechery is a must. So anyway, they're going to go in the oven. I'll be back with you later on. Okay, we're back. I'm going to give you a little of the breakdown of how I'm going to do the actual inserts to the potatoes while the potatoes are cooling down a little bit. Had to put them back in. Strange. Because they didn't, 45 minutes, they're small potatoes, 45 minutes at 400, I would have thought they would have been done, but they weren't. So put them back in. The shells have got to get a little harder on the outside. Wish they were just a little harder. They're still kind of tender, but we're going to do what we can. I'm one of those cooks that doesn't measure anything at all. Never have, never will. My grandmother taught me how to cook, so I learned how she did it. And she did a little of this and a little of that. So I'm going to tell you what I did. I fried off a pound of bacon. And I am about 5 pieces short of putting the whole pound in. I'm going to save that other 5 pieces for breakfast tomorrow. May make a quiche with it. You might watch me make a quiche. Anyway, so I've got my 5 pieces over here that I that I'm not using. You know, the one thing I am going to tell you, I'm a clean freak. And so you'll see me going back and forth to the dishwater all the time. I keep clean dishwater in because I like to wash my hands off all the time, which is good at this point in time. You know, keep your hands clean. Clean life, clean life. Okay, so we put that in. What I did was, the first potato that I pulled out, remember I said I put in 7 potatoes? We now are down to 6 potatoes. The 7th potato had a little black spot on it. And so I cut away from that, put the guts of it in here. I've got 1 stick of butter in there. I'm going to take from my bag of cheese, and it is cheddar jack, a blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do here, okay? You see that? Well, that's some. There's going to be more. I like mine cheesy. So we're going to take another handful, and we're going to throw in there, okay? Now this will all be incorporated into the guts of the okay, this is a little twist that I've never tried before, but you know what? Good cooks, they try things all the time, and that's what you got to do. You got to experiment, constantly experiment. I have had French onion sour cream dip in the refrigerator. I've been eating up until 3 days ago. Potato chips constantly. I'm you know, the freshman 40. So I had some leftover. I mean, it's still very good, and I'm going to take about that much, about a spoonful and a half, maybe 2 spoonfuls. You might call that 2 spoonfuls. And so, because I don't know how it's going to come out, you know, if it's going to be very. But I'm going to go on and I'm going to put a little bit of sour cream in there, just to make up for the fact that I don't want it to be all French onion. So we're going to put some squeeze sour cream. Hey, this is another thing. You know, getting older, there's so many things that we have to know about and learn about and adjust to and everything. One of them for me is bottles. Opening bottles and jars and stuff. I don't know about you, but boy, and I've always had a bad hand. So anyway, so sour cream. We're going to take a little bit of sour cream. Now, you're watching. I got it where you can see me now. Okay. Yeah. Who knows? Probably 2 tablespoons. About the same as the sour cream dip. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, now we're going to open up our potatoes. I've got my cutting board here. Let me wipe it off just a little bit because I don't like that. Okay, got our cutting board. And you want to look at the potato because you want it to lay flat. Because you're going to have 2 sides that have to lay flat. So I'm cutting them down one at a time and letting them kind of sit there opened up like that before I do anything else. So this one, yeah, straight down the middle. Straight down the middle. Open them up and part them. Make sure that they part. Now, so far I haven't put any salt in. Well, there's a reason. Between the French onion dip, which I know has salt, the cheese, which I know has salt, and the skins has salt. Owning a restaurant, one of the things I never did was try to oversalt anything, because people are, some people can't even have salt. So I let people kind of do their own thing with salt and pepper. Oh, now with salt, I should say, not pepper. I put pepper in, and we're going to put some pepper in here in just a second. I wanted to get these all open so that we can work with them quicker. Okay, wash my hands. We've got that done. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to put a little pepper in here. I don't know, a good amount. Because you got 7, really. Okay, and I'm going to try another thing. Who knows if it's going to work? I'm not going to overdo it any, but I want to see. I bought at Costco this ranch 3-in-1 seasoning, and I've been putting in it with all kinds of different stuff. And just a little dab will do you. And I know that it has some salt in it, but you just want a little taste. You don't want it to overwhelm. So we're going to do that, okay? Okay, so we've got everything that we need in here. And I'm going to kind of mix that up a little bit until we get it over here in the blender. We've got our green onions, our butter, our bacon, our cheese, our sour cream, our French onion dip, some pepper, and a little bit of the ranch dressing, okay? And one of the guts of the other potatoes. So here we go. Get another spoon here. And just want to take it and kind of cull it out. Cull that inside out, because you're going to fill it back up. Okay, so get it culled out, good and cold. And, oh yeah, it's just warm enough to where it's working well, and it's just warm enough to where it's burning my hand. That's okay. I'll live. As my grandmother would say, it's a long way from the heart. So, okay, so, woo, that's hot. That's hot. I've been trying to think of the song that I want to do next time I do dancing. And I'm thinking maybe Uptown Sally. And there's a reason for that. And if friends of mine hear this, they'll know what it is. But Uptown Sally's a heck of a good song to dance to. But I love recommendations, because I'm going to keep up the dancing. But I got to dance to something that makes me feel it, So if you have any suggestions, please, by all means, let me know what they are, and I'll throw them on. And then, if we know ahead of time, I'll let you know, and we can do it together. There's something liberating about dancing by yourself. I don't know. You're able to, how when you're out on a dance floor, everybody's looking at you. And if you're a good dancer, and I'll be very honest about this, if you're a good dancer, you want everybody to watch it because you like dancing, and it's like cooking. My husband and I were talking about this the other night, and this is the truth. If you enjoy cooking, you get real pride out of people saying how good something is that you've made, because you've taken the time and you've put in the effort. It's an art. It's just like any other art. And I love doing it. I love cooking. I don't like to cook all the time. I'm one of those. But when I do it, I love doing it. And I want to be told hey, that's good, or hey, that's not good. No, I don't want to hear that. Well, yeah, you got to hear that sometimes. And you got to admit, that's another thing about a good cook. A good cook will always admit when something doesn't taste good, when something's off, because everybody has flops. Everybody does. I'm terrible at a couple of things. I'm really, really bad at gravy. Can't make gravy for squat. And I'm bad at dressing. I do not, and now lately, the last 2 times that I've made dressings, my husband's told me they are fabulous. And he is the one that told me before that, prior to that, honey, I'm sorry, you can't make dressing. So, if he tells me they're fabulous after telling me that, well, then I got to listen to him and hear him. But anyway, so, okay, we got the guts all out. Now we're going to put it in the mixer. Blend it up here. And I'm going to call my friend and tell her to have her oven on, because I'll take them up there and finish them at the last. But basically what we're going to end up doing is we're going to put the mixture that's all been mixed up. Now's your opportunity to go, oh, how's it going to taste? Woo, baby! Oh, that's some good eating now. As that old Cajun used to say, that makes you want to slap your mama. All of those little combination of foods went together so well and melded together so easily and well. Now we're putting them back in, and what we'll do is we'll top them off with some cheese. When I get to her house, we'll I'm going to put them on this baking sheet and sprinkle them with the extra cheese. I don't know if you can see them, but here's a filled one. Well, may put a little bit more. I've got plenty of it in here. Get it good and full of good stuff. Good stuff. But I'm going to finish this off. Put some cheese on them. Take them to my friends, where I hope everyone will enjoy. So that's my rendition of twice baked potatoes. Tomorrow, I don't know what we'll do tomorrow. We may not do anything tomorrow. Thanks for being here with me. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed up to now. I'd love to have you. I'd love to hear comments. I'd love to hear from you, hear about you. You know, I love people. So the more people I know, the better off I feel. The better I feel about everything. And that's so important when we get old. We gotta feel good about life. We gotta feel good. And it's been really tough to feel good for the last little while. You know? Okay, folks. I'll talk to you soon, I hope. Until then, y'all have a great day.